FX presents the Indoob podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Good morning, Indoobians. I'm T. Sterling Watson.
And I'm Courtney.
This is the Indoob podcast, where drive time meets late night talk shows. We aim to entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Thank you for stopping by and pressing play. We're recording live from Little New Indubia on the corner of Tachaka and MLK Drive in Little New Indubia. Yeah, I said that right. Yeah, okay. I did. Yeah. All right. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Great. How are you doing?
Wow. I feel like because normally it's like I'm ready for the fantabulous and I'm trying to find a word to meet and match that. So I would say I'm spectacular, but nice. I do know you're great because we've chatted like before, and I mean we chat just about every day, and I know things, not the thing that you just told me, but there are other things that you have received over the weekend, and I am excited for you to tell me about those things. And I mean, I'm excited. I'm good. Did I say I'm good? I'm spectacular. Yes, I'm good. Yes.
You're spectacular. Yes.
Excellent. And right. And I know like some of the newness of like what's going on has been happening in the last couple episodes, minus the previous episode, which was all about Nope. And if you have watched it or not, I do recommend you check it out and then check out that episode. Or if you did both, thank you. And this is a regular episode, basically. And by that, I don't want to go too much into talking about my new job, even though it's exciting for me. So, but first of all, and I'm just going to go ahead and just barrel into it because it's your news, but you got an Oculus.
Yes.
So first of all, tell the good people what an Oculus is, because just in case they don't know, but they're not like tech nerds like we are. So, you know.
So an Oculus is a virtual reality gaming system, and it is now through Facebook. Not Facebook, it's Meta now. So it's Meta. I guess powered. Yeah, it's powered through Meta now, but we don't need to discuss we don't need to go any further.
I mean,
with that,
it's so complicated now because you have like the device that's like running Meta's flagship, sort of, not really, but like it's like, hey, we have this thing that you want. Or first of all, did you even want an Oculus?
Well, I was down for the cause, but really, this is Daniel's. It's ours, I guess, because it's in the household. But this is Daniel's like long time wish list item. He always would like talk himself out of it, you know, because he'd like, I don't want to spend that much money on it. He's one of the types that doesn't spend money on himself and can easily like talk himself out of something, especially because it's a bit of an investment. And even now it's gone up a little bit more than what it used to be. And so he even more so, he's actually listening. Daniel is eavesdropping, and he just peeked in, and guess what he's doing? He's on the Oculus anyway. So,
first of all, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's lovely that our lovely significant others are just kind of eavesdropping. Because mine is as well, right? Just you know,
not talking to them at all.
But carry on.
So, but yeah, he had been talking himself out of it, and even like I said, recently he almost talked himself out of it. And so I was like, okay, I'm not saying no, but let's figure out a plan. Because I think it's doable, and I wanted him to have it, and I think it'd be fun, and it'd be fun for the whole family.
Okay.
But I'm also like, yeah, you should also do something awesome for yourself. That's okay. So
basically, treat yourself.
Treat yourself. So we figured it out, went and got it, and had it up and running like I think that same day. So we got it over the weekend, and Saturday or Sunday is when we got it. I think it's maybe Saturday, but definitely really up and running on Sunday. So that was that was how the majority of the weekend was spent from then on.
You spent it in virtual reality, basically.
Yes, which is so cool. It's so neat how, because you really don't need like a ton of space. You need a little bit of space, but you don't need a whole ton of space to play awesome games. And like my favorite game is called Beat Saber, where it's trying to think of a game similar, but where it
Beat Flavor?
Beat Saber. So beat as in like the beat of like music.
Okay.
And then saber like a lightsaber.
Oh, saber. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because the next word I thought you were saying was savor. Like you have to go save the beat. Or... I
used to think it was Beat Saber, like beat, like Saber as in Victor, but it is Saber because you hold like the controllers in your hand, and in the game it's like you're holding sabers, like lightsabers. Okay. And so the point is you use them kind of like you would a sword to kind of slice through the beat. Like the beat comes at you. There's music playing, and then the beat comes at you like in a colorful box. Mm-hmm. And so depending on if you're needing to hit it with the right saber or the left saber, it's going to be color coordinated. And so, you hit it and you basically slice it open, and that's how you get the point. Think of like Just Dance, where you have to hit the moves in time with the beat in order to get points. And, it doesn't judge you on accuracy and your timing and things like that. And so it's like that, except a virtual reality, and you slice it with a saber, and it's amazing.
I want you to know I was with you and listening, but at the same time, I would just decided to Google how much an Oculus is.
Terrible job.
No, because I'm like, okay, because like I feel like I'm already sold, but I'm like, now let me just look into an Oculus real quick, just to get an idea of like the price points. And then I'm also wondering, like, I wonder if my sister, who happens to be employed by Meta, and has perks every so often. I'll shoot her a text a little bit later. A little texty text and just like, hey,
a little texty text. You never know.
What's going on over there in the meta world? Because I mean, I think she might actually have one. I think because I thought she had a meeting with the robotic CEO himself, and I'm not sure if that meeting took place in the metaverse. I don't know. I could be making this up because she's told me about meetings that she's had before, or just things and events, and I don't know. I'll have to confer with her and get back to you on that. Because
please do. Yeah, because if she could get the hookup, I mean, you may want to see about perks. I don't know if ESPN will have perks like that, but you never know.
Right.
You never know.
And this one game you told me about already, I'm like, this might be just up my alley, perhaps.
Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I don't know a ton about like the other games that are available, but I know that we now also own Minecraft because the kiddies are into that. And so there's Minecraft, and he's got, there's several games that he's interested in, but he was playing like a sword and sorcery game yesterday. So anyway, so he, so there's just a lot to get into it. I know Beat Saber is my favorite one. And it's like, well, I know there's a lot of like fitness ones too. Okay. Which is one of the other reasons we were like, now is a good time because we want to like get in shape. He wants to do like boxing and stuff, and because it is a pretty physical gaming console.
Right. Like I've seen people using it, and you have to really put your body into it, and it's very active, very, and I see that being a benefit. So why not? Like that, I'm sure when you were going over the pros and cons, I'm like, hey, look, we can use this to work out and be healthy. Like,
exactly.
Right.
For fun.
You're right. For fun.
In a fun way, like work out in a fun way that doesn't necessarily feel like working out. Because I know with Beat Saber, like we've been playing it on not the easiest modes, but we've not been playing like the most extreme modes, but do a couple rounds or a couple songs on hard or even expert, you're gonna bust a sweat. So it's just fun to do that and then try to beat our own high scores, and all while getting some cardio in. I think we would have to be pretty consistent with it to see like actual physical improvements. And obviously 80% of, health and weight loss and things like that has to do with what you eat.
Right.
So we'd have to make other changes, but it is more of an incentive to get active and move our bodies. So I'm all for that. So, but I don't know. It's exciting.
That does sound exciting. And now I feel a bit sold because, I mean, over the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about just like things that we would love to like kind of splurge on, or just like to treat ourselves as we just already said, treat yourself. And I mean, the Oculus, now that you've kind of put it in these different perspectives, such as even helping with exercise. And you said the other half of that is eating better. And I can now add a new food stuff or a new food to my palate, I suppose, because my lovely wife wanted to try quail eggs. And first of all, we're like, where do we even find quail eggs? But fortunately, the grocery store right next to us, which I like it. I feel like I can find the things that I can't find in like your regular typical grocery store. I forgot what you have out there. Kroger's. That's what you have.
Yeah, a Kroger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it could be in there. I don't know. But either way, we found it there. And because first of all, she just loves the way they look. They are pretty. They're very pretty eggs.
Okay.
But what I found is that they're very durable eggs too. So you can't just crack it like you can a regular egg. It takes some. I basically ended up taking a knife to it.
Wow.
Because I was like, okay, I don't want to. I was trying to be careful. I didn't want to be too like rough with it because like it's a small egg. I don't want to waste it. So so I was I was trying to bang it on the side of the glass, but then I got the shell off. But the membrane under the shell is it's tough. It's really tough. So I ended up taking a knife and sawing it like the top of it off.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then pouring it into a cup because I was like, okay, now should I scramble this egg? And it's very small. So it's like, so what I did was I took 3 of them. So in that kind of equal like a full, maybe normal / large egg. And then I scrambled that. Okay. But then I also did hard boiled them, a few of those. So those were tasty. So those.
So what is the consistency of the quail egg? I mean, for it to be that small, is it still kind of like runny? Does it have a yolk consistency? Like what's that like?
It looks just like a regular chicken egg, but just smaller.
Okay. And tougher to bust into.
Right.
Okay.
And it still tastes the same too, to me. And I mean, I guess I will. Yes. Okay. I had turned over and I got a confirmation that it tastes the same to her too. And I tried them 3 different ways because I tried them the hard boiled ways, scrambled, and then fried. So just like the yolk intact and everything. So I'm like, oh, okay, not bad. Yeah, I mean, they're cute.
Was it? I want to see. Okay, so I want to see a picture, but I also, were they like price wise? Was it comparable to a chicken egg?
That I don't know. We got 18 in a carton or
little carton
thing. Yeah. Little container. So I feel like that could be the equivalent of a dozen eggs, but I don't know. I wasn't there to purchase them. So
gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, they were tasty. And I after all the hard work of getting the eggs out, because after all that, I'm like, you know what? I'm just ready for some regular eggs. So I went and just pulled out some regular like chicken eggs. And I may not have discussed it before on this podcast, but my refrigerator here in my apartment is, I've had better refrigerators, and it every so often just likes to, and I understand the reason why it does this, but it likes to freeze things in the refrigerator part. So
yeah, mine does that too.
And I know it's because of proper ventilation. And sometimes if things are not placed properly, things can just like, oh, nope, we're going to freeze here. So I've used this to my advantage because I have a pitcher of water that I like to use. Like if I'm going to like cook with potatoes and I need to have them like, need to cut them up and get the starch off. And then you need to like, why am I shocking them? You have to shock them or whatever. Put them in cold water, ice water. Yes. So
gotcha.
So that's right there. It's ready. It's available for me to use that. Or if I'm just really, really thirsty and need some very cold water, there's that too. So that's to my benefit. However, what's not to my benefit is when the eggs are frozen, which is what happened when I was like, oh, okay. But then I'm like, you know what? I've got some time. Let me try some science, or just, as we like to say, when like, let's do it for science. Let's check it out. Let's try it. So I decided, like, let me try to cook an egg while it's still frozen. Let me just see what happens, because I'm curious. So I tried that and the other reason why is because some of them were actually kind of broken in the container. So I had to kind of get them out anyway. So I'm like, well, all the yolk is still here and the egg whites and everything. So let me just kind of thaw it out a little bit and then break it open. And then I mean, they cooked, except that the yolk part was the hardest part to thaw because it's right in the middle. It's the most frozenest part of it. So I had to, as it started to melt, I just kind of cut it up with a spatula, and then it ended up being scrambled because I had to be. So yeah, it still tasted fine. It's just, it was just started out frozen. Not something I recommend.
Yeah. But frozen eggs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. and that's the part where, because you talked about consistency and kind of opening or cracking open an egg. When an egg is even still kind of in the process of maybe thawing out, it's kind of watery when you first open it. Yeah. And then the rest of it, it's just, it looks kind of gross, but I mean, it's a frozen egg. What do you expect? So yeah, not what I recommended. But well, it was easy. It
wasn't done on purpose, though.
It wasn't because nobody wants frozen eggs. But I guess if you're trying to preserve them, maybe
like for baby making later. Oh, you're talking about eating, or that too.
that too. I mean, you could do that as well. And then the last thing I have written here. This has nothing to do with the breakfast I had that day, but it was something I meant to talk about in a previous episode, and that is, and it's a secret, so get close because I'm going to whisper it to you. Okay, all right.
I'm listening.
So you've been to Chick-fil-A, right?
I have. I love it there.
And their Chick-fil-A sauce. How do you feel about it? Yes.
I love it. Yeah.
What if I told you that you can?
No, because I think I know what you're going to say.
What? What am I going to say?
That I can make it at home? I can replicate it?
I mean, yes, you can. I have not done it yet. Oh. But that's not what I was going to tell you.
Okay, what then?
What if I told you that you can buy Chick-fil-A sauce?
I think I knew that, because isn't it like Coast by the mayonnaise and other condiments and stuff?
Yeah, it's in a pretty big bottle.
Okay. I think I saw it.
That's not really what I want to tell you, because I've gone to stores to go get like Chick-fil-A sauce, and all that's left is usually the Polynesian sauce. I'm like, I don't want that. Even though
that's a good sauce too. I mean,
it is. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm hating. I know it came off like aggressive, and I'm sorry.
It was real strong. Like,
that's because I've gone to several stores, and I've purchased like the Chick-fil-A sauce online like many years ago, like, but it came in a dual thing. Like, here, have Chick-fil-A sauce and Polynesian sauce. I'm like, okay, I really only wanted one, and it took me forever to finish the Polynesian sauce because I didn't want that one. It's good, but I can't. It's not as versatile as the Chick-fil-A sauce. So
okay,
I went to, I'll say, Walter Martin's, and they didn't have anymore, but it was there. Like, they had the area, like, here, buy the Chick-fil-A sauce. It's $dollars, but it was empty. Yeah. They only had like 2 bottles of Polynesian sauce. Like, I don't want that. I want.
Apparently nobody did, though.
However, what nobody knew, and I decided to, it's like, I'll just try this on a whim, because they had some other like Walmart brand sauces. I'm sorry, Walter Martin brand sauces on the side, and some was like a secret mayonnaise sauce, and then this is like secret red sauce, and then it has something called chicken dipping sauce. So I'm like, let me try this. Okay. It's the same color. I get home. Yeah, sure. I dab it on some, I don't know, chicken. I forgot what I ate that. Fries, I think it was. No, I think I just dabbed some on my finger, because I just was like, let me see what this is. Courtney, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
It's Chick-fil-A sauce.
Was it cheaper than how?
Absolutely.
But it tastes the same.
And nobody touched them. Like, there's like several hundred bottles of this stuff, and nobody is using it. So everybody's coming to the store looking for like Chick-fil-A sauce, and right there is like the chicky sauce you're looking for.
The off-brand that you can pay less money, and it's always going to be in stock because people don't know. Really go. Yeah, they don't know, but they also tend to not do off-brand stuff as easily because it's off-brand.
Right. And to answer your previous question, yes, there is a several recipes out there to make it at home, which I was going to do. And I think I was even possibly in the store to look for the ingredients. But then I was like, well, let me just see if they have it. And they don't. And I'm like, well, they got this chicken dipping sauce. I'll give it a shot. I mean, we'll see what happens. And sure enough, it's been my favorite sauce, but like now I can, Courtney, it tastes good on almost everything. It's magical. Yes. So outside of just, putting on chicken sandwiches or chicken tenders or even fries, I put it on my burger. I think I used it in a breakfast sandwich once, and I need to go get more because we were at Walter Martin's and I forgot to get some more because that wasn't the mission. I forgot. I didn't put that on the itinerary. So next time. But that's my little secret. So just keep that between us. So.
Thank you very much. And now I really, really, really want some Chick-fil-A. So thanks for that.
Is it because of like the chicken or do you want the sauce?
I want, well, all of the above. I want the fries too. And then they have that cookies and cream shake.
I'm unfamiliar with this one.
They do. It's like it may not be called cookies and cream. It's like an Oreo. It's not called Oreo. So it may be called cookies and cream shake, but it's delicious. And now I want it. Okay.
I'm not as moved, but I understand because there's other things there that's just like grabbing your attention. And I mean, you start out with the sauce and then everything else just kind of falls into, just, oh, I want that too. And that's how it gets you started. So,
well, you also mentioned Polynesian sauce, and that's what I put on my chicken sandwich because I will do like the spicy fried chicken sandwich, and I'll put the Polynesian sauce on there and like dip my fries in the Polynesian sauce. And now I really need it. Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks. That's an expensive trip, though.
I mean, you said it's an expensive trip because you'd be getting all these things.
Yes. Chick-fil-A is not cheap.
You're right.
And this.
I do. And I mean, it's been a while since I've been to a Chick-fil-A, but still, yes, I do.
Me too.
Know. Yes.
Well, that's why I haven't been in a while because they want like a whole paycheck just to eat there.
And probably more so with all the inflation, but we're not going to get into all that right now.
I don't want to talk about it. Yeah.
No. In fact, if anything, I'm going to throw a little plug in here because we have also discussed off air about doing a special segment. Oh my God, what did you name it? It was great.
Oh, hot topics, hot takes for hot topics.
There you go. Yes. So coming soon at some point. So watch out for that because all the controversial stuff or things that aren't so, happy or light or whatever our true opinions are about something, we're going to save it for that. And that might be a Patreon exclusive. So if you have not subscribed, and you probably should by now, you also got another thing that you were very excited about.
I did.
See, there you go, glowing and beaming again. So go ahead. Because I said wait until the pod to tell me more about it, like the Oculus, but yes. Yes.
So I got Freeride Traveler, and the Traveler is basically an e-writer that is made to be, it's a distraction-free e-writer. And what I mean by e-writer is it uses like electronic ink. It reminds me of how a Kindle, especially the original ones, were made where all it was books, and you could access your entire book library offline, online, whatever, and it was just for books. And at the beginning they didn't have backlight, like the screen wasn't backlit, but it was really good for like reading outside. You could read it on the inside just as long as it wasn't like pitch black in the room because it didn't have a backlight. The Traveler is basically a Kindle, but for writing. It is made only for writing, meaning it's like mine looks like a cute little laptop, but it doesn't, you can't like access the internet, you can't access email or anything. It is simply just for drafting. It's not even for editing really, because it's meant to be a distraction-free zone. It's really cute, like it's stylish, but it's not like got a ton of bells and whistles, because the point of it is to just write, to just draft. So it's very simple. It's got its own little like, I guess, system to kind of, I'm still learning how to navigate it. And even it has like a cursor for your little screen, for when you're writing. There's a specific way to actually move the cursor and to kind of navigate around the screen. But so I'm still kind of learning those things, but it's pretty simple. Because again, there are no bells and whistles.
Yeah, you showed me a picture of it, and I was still just trying to kind of understand, because I think once you opened, you said there's a screen. Is that what I was looking at when I saw William Shakespeare or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the screen. Now, I don't even know why the screen is so small. I think that's just part of it. Like they want it to be, I don't know. It's just, but it's a smaller screen. Like, 'cause it's got a full keyboard. It doesn't feel scrunched up at all. But the screen is not the width of the keyboard, different from how it would be like for a laptop or for even like an iPad or another tablet. But it's actually nice. Like it's really easy on the eyes, like the size of the words on the screen. It fills it up.
I think I'll request another picture from you when you start using it and like have words on it. So that way I can visualize it a little better. Cause I still, cause I get it. Cause again, when you showed it to me, I was like, is that little, now I know this, we are on a audio medium. So we're trying to paint pictures for you, but it's based on the picture you showed me, it just looked like just a small tiny little text box. And I'm like, is that it? Like, I mean, I got the keyboard part. I could see that. And then I saw pictures of William Shakespeare and I think two other writers, or is it just a bunch of William Shakespeare? I don't.
No, it's a couple other writers. I know Poe is one of them. And I think maybe, what's her name? Pride and Prejudice. Yes. Oh. No. Jane Austen.
Oh, Jane
Actually,
Austen.
I don't know who the lady is, because I know Poe is on there because there's like a picture of him, like it's not a whole picture, but like his silhouette, I guess, with a raven in the background. But the ladies, I saw one lady. I'm not sure who she's supposed to be, honestly. So,
they all had one too. They had e-writers, right?
Of course. No.
Okay.
No.
Yes. You're supposed to go with it and just, sell it.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm a little slow today. So on the draw.
It's all right. It's all right.
No, but I love it. So far, I've typed a little bit on it. I only got it yesterday evening, and then I wasn't like I had to charge it, so I couldn't play with it. And then today I had to work, and so I haven't really had a chance to just write a whole lot. Plus, I'm like, I'm not in the middle of drafting anything. How am I gonna do this? So I need to find stuff to draft.
Could you
I can
even just type out, I don't know, like an email and then email yourself just to, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
And that's another cool thing. Like I could type up something and there's a button that says send, and it literally will send a draft of it in PDF. I think a PDF version of it to my email. There's also a way I can sync it like with Google Docs, like just they have their own like cloud syncing service. It's called I think it's Postmark, which is similar, I guess, to maybe Dropbox, which it can also sync to Dropbox, but that's just their automated, default cloud syncing system. And but I haven't set up the other ones yet, just because I've not had it yet 24 hours. So
right.
mm-hmm.
Plus, you still got to break in the Oculus a little bit more. So yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So many
got all these new toys
around here. I know it's a great week over here.
That's post Mark, not post Mates, where you can probably get Chick-fil-A sent to you. We're gonna move on to.
I thought about it. I'm looking it up now. Actually,
see, it's terrible. And while we're already enticing you to treat yourself, I'm going to throw in just one more thing before we move on to other things. And I wish I had like some kind of like coupon code for what I'm about to talk about, and it's Displate, and then that is spelled DISPLATE. And it's basically, if you've never heard of it, or if you've never watched like a number of YouTube videos like I have, and it's been in something they regularly kind of feature for their own coupon or, discounts. It's artwork that is printed on like metal plates, like actual like quality artwork on some quality metal. You stick it on your wall with magnets, and it's great. I bought 2 pieces. I bought one for Ashley, one for myself. She has one of my Angelou. I have one of Sam Cooke. And now I've got art on the wall, and we're going to get some more at some point. And it's just beautiful. And it's just one of those things that I did to treat myself, because I was like, I want some artwork. I want something nice and something unique. And that's definitely something about this particular website, which has, I want to say, millions of pieces of art. Wow. I mean, you just name it and they probably have it. They definitely specialize in, I'll say, licensed, like Marvel and DC, Star Wars, Assassin's Creed, because I think that's one that you like. Many different brands. NASA. Because yes, they do have the Joust images, especially the first ones that came out. So if you want to get that printed on a metal sheet and then have it hanging on your wall, you can do that. So yeah, wow. That's just something I'm excited about. And I mean, just have some really good work of art on the wall that's durable, that'll last.
Well, I love the ones you sent to me, the ones that you've got, that y'all got in the house. They look so awesome. They really do like add that extra splash of color and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I'll have to take a better picture of it just so I can share it somewhere so they can see it. So I'm excited because I'm like, oh, what am I going to get next? And I'm actually looking for like certain things like cityscapes, specifically New York City, and trying to find a good one. So I'm looking around. But since I mentioned space, I feel like that we should probably, let me see. We should go to. Did it play? I don't think it played.
Nope.
Space. There it is. That was weird. I don't normally hear it, but I heard it that time.
So you may want to play it again because it stopped for me midway, and I was like, "Oh!" And then it continued. So
right. Okay, I'll play it again. We're about to go to space. Okay, that's better.
Nice.
Okay, I had to check to make sure that this wasn't part of Spookums or there was no Spookums involved. So, dark energy. That's what we're starting with. That's just. Okay. That's not the headline. That's not the headline. And for those that aren't familiar with what it is, I'm going to break it down first because I wrote a whole little thing here and I'm just going to go through and read it real quick. Dark energy is a hypothetical form of energy that produces a force that opposes gravity and is thought to be the cause of accelerating expansion of the universe.
Yeah.
Dark matter. I know. I'm trying not to blow anybody's mind yet. I mean, you in particular. Okay. Because where I'm going with this, I'm not even sure what your reaction is, but this is what I couldn't wait like for the past month to tell you, but let me just keep going. So, dark matter is different from dark energy, but dark matter is composed of particles that do not absorb, reflect, or emit light. So, still with me?
Yes.
You sound like you're like apprehensive or something, or like you're nervous. Sorry.
Well, it's because I hear the words that are coming out of your mouth, and but grasping them in a way that I could I really understand and I could explain it to someone else because I have that type of understanding is not there.
I understand. And that's why I had to find like the simplest like definitions or explanations of what these two things are.
Okay.
Because if you can't quite grasp what these things are, then it would be difficult for me to explain the theory that I have behind them.
Okay.
Which is why I can't wait till we one day, and I'm claiming it, I'm calling it. We are going to get a science person on here, some scientist that knows way more than we do. And like one of these science explainers, some of these people that I follow on YouTube or Twitter or what have you. And they're going to blow our minds because they're going to break things down for us. And we're going to be like, oh, snap. So,
and then we'll finally be enlightened.
Right. When we will just leave like our corporal bodies and kind of be in the astral plane, basically. And whatever realm they are in already, I'm like, oh, they'll be welcome. So yes, we'll go through this again. I'll repeat it. So maybe it might sink in a little bit, maybe.
Okay.
But dark energy is a hypothetical form of energy.
Okay.
Meaning it's something that can't quite exactly be proven exactly what it is, but it's there.
Okay.
But it produces a force that opposes gravity and is thought to be the cause of why the universe is expanding.
So okay.
So instead of pulling things together, it's making it like go further apart.
Expand. Okay, cool.
And it's making it doing faster and faster. So why?
But it's not gravity.
It's not gravity. It's the opposite.
Though, so
right.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
I think I got it.
That's what dark energy is. It's basically the opposite of gravity.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
And
dark matter are these particles of something. We don't know what it is because we haven't been able to actually get it and hold it and do whatever. We haven't been able to science it really, to touch it and do stuff.
Right.
Because it doesn't absorb light, it doesn't reflect it, nor does it emit light. So that's why they call it dark matter.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So now this isn't even part of my theory. I'm just trying to get you on the same page to understand. So we can move on from there. So together, I'm taking your breath because this next sentence is still something that I have to comprehend and process. Okay. Together, dark energy and dark matter is 95% of the universe.
Oh my God. But I thought it was theoretical.
5% that's left is all the matter and energy that we currently know and understand.
Oh my God. Okay. So, okay. Wow. Okay. These numbers are big.
So,
okay.
The thing that makes the most sense to me is if all of this dark energy and dark matter is out there that we can't even really touch or comprehend or understand. Who's to say that's not the multiverse?
I wouldn't at this point. I mean, especially with the James Webb telescope, it wouldn't surprise me if we discover that. And honestly, that's one of the things that like was on the table, discovering not just new worlds or new species, but even like proving just these outlandish, like crazy theories.
Like multi-world theory, basically.
Yes. So at this point, it would surprise me, but not in a way like, whoa, this is so unexpected. Just because, we're seeing farther than we've ever seen before. And we're discovering more, just not even a year into the James Webb being out there doing this thing.
Right. So how I came about it, I mean, other than kind of, again, processing all what I just told you, but the fact that like And it's something that I always think about because of so many of the movies that we've seen where like what happens, like, I mean, going even to Doctor Who, what happens if you went left instead of right? And that is another Earth, just based on that one decision. And now you've created another universe. And with so many people making so many decisions, makes so many more worlds, that why can't all of that be with everybody else or even everything else that makes a decision like, oh, I'm not going to explode today. And then boom, new universe. So why can't all those other decisions be what fills up the rest of the 95% of the universe that we can't know or touch or
right.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that would make sense to me just because like you said, there's so much, the majority of it that we know a fraction of what we know. And I mean, we know a lot. That's the crazy part about it. But we only know a fraction of the potential of stuff, out there. So, so I think that that's an excellent theory. I support it, because why not?
Right. And there are people that have theorized this as well. So I'm not the first one with this groundbreaking thought, but I didn't really go and read what they thought about it either. And I think some people are already trying to disprove it. And like, how can you disprove something that can't be proven like at all? Like we don't even know what, like we don't have, we don't know what we don't know. We don't have any, I don't want to say we don't have concrete evidence of dark energy or dark matter, which they can prove that it exists. It's just difficult to do.
Yeah.
Because the way that they've been able to prove is how it interacts with other things that we understand. So there's that part of it. And I've actually read some science papers or people that said that if we did touch, I think, dark matter, that we would just
explode, implode.
Just not be. We just wouldn't be anymore. I think it would just, I want to say explode because it would kind of separate all the molecules that make us who we are. And it just, I don't know. That sounds kind of painful.
I just don't understand though. Like if we can't see it and we can't prove it, I mean, I guess that's how we find like other stars and other planets by seeing how they behave and all that stuff like us. So I understand the concept of how they can discover things without, I mean, it's kind of like a black hole. We didn't get the first picture, I guess, of a black hole until like recent years. And yet that had been theorized and studied for a long time just because of how objects and light and other things were behaving and not behaving around them. So that makes sense. A little bit, but then it mostly doesn't make sense because like, what, I guess it's kind of like gravity. You can't see it, but it's there. It's there and it is a force that you can't, you can't disprove because of how things react when it's around, like when it's present. But my brain just is like, what?
And that is why I wanted to bring it to you, because I'm like, now this is one of those things for you to just chew on, and you may possibly, I don't want to say you're going to stay up late thinking about it, but it's definitely going to be rattling around in your brain for a couple days. And so,
it's already, yeah. Thanks.
So how do you think I felt where I've just been sitting on it and there's so few people that I can just go to with this crazy thought, and then they'll be like, wow, that's crazy. Cause I mean, it's not that I can't tell Ashley, but at the same time, she'd be like, okay. Cause she doesn't think about those kind of things the way that she's not as excited about space as I am.
And she may not just be as interested, and that's fine. But see, I have the opposite. So Daniel, he will talk to me about stuff, but he's like so intellectual that he's already, he's like already thought about stuff. Which I guess kind of works because there was a moment where I had like an existential, wow, we're really small. Like life is really insignificant. There's whole galaxies out there and you want me to go to work every day? I had like that whole, I had one of those like, wow, we really are just small and tiny. Like, I don't understand any of this. What? This is just a little bit of a mini crisis. And so I was kind of freaking out to him about it. And he's just kind of looking at me like, yeah, I've been here. We're good. And I was like, but explain it to me. Tell me the meaning of life. I don't get it. And so we talked, but yeah, he's not, I can't bring him original ideas because he's like, oh yeah, I've thought about that. I've rationalized and this is what I came up with. What do you think? Like, so
he's probably already solved world hunger. It's just he doesn't have the resources to actually do it.
He's that type. I'm sure we've talked about it too. Mm-hmm. I mean, we talked about Thanos. Well, that's different. That's different. But like the big questions of life, you know,
I mean, that is one of them.
Asked, yeah.
I mean, that is one of those questions, or even not even a question, because some people will just flat out say like Thanos was right. And like, then all of a sudden hands go up like, oh no. And then, it's just a whole fight. That's how the fight starts. So yeah. So I get it.
He's that type. Yeah.
And not to say that Ashley and I don't talk about things in that intellectual way, because I mean, as you brought up Thanos, we discuss similar things. Usually it's about time travel and the possibilities of it and the consequences or like if time travel would be possible to go back in time, would that start a new timeline, or do you stay in the timeline that you're in effect? I mean, that's something that we can't prove yet.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
but those are the conversations that we have.
Yeah, we do too. Yeah. Can I answer that question for you real quick? Oh. a short question, a short answer.
Okay.
So my theory is it depends on your school of thought. It depends on if you believe in the whole, it branches off when you take, like, go back in time and take a different course. Does it actually alter the future and the rest of your timeline, or does it just create an alternate path, like a branch off? And I think that kind of has something to do with whether you believe if time is like linear rather than just a straight line, and whether or not like the butterfly effect, where you go back in time and you change everything in the past or in the for your future as if it never happened, like you rewrite it essentially, or if you're branching off. I'm not sure where I fall into in that, I like to think that you just kind of branch off, but I don't know.
Because I mean, the other option would be that it was already predestined for you to go back in time to do whatever it is that you did and go back to where you either stay there or go back to your time. Yeah. Because I mean, that happens in a certain Marvel project that I'm not sure if you've seen yet. So I'm just going to leave it at that.
I probably haven't. Wait, I've seen Endgame, so that's not it.
Have you seen any of the Disney Plus shows so far?
Not recently, no.
Okay.
I'm behind. I've not seen Miss Marvel. I've not seen Moon Knight. I haven't even seen the
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, never seen it.
And even though, like, I feel like people would probably say that's the lesser of them, there are definitely some good moments in it. And I know you're a purist and you're going to watch them eventually because they all connect and they all have, value to them. Because I think that might be one of the projects that helps to introduce the upcoming Thunderbolts. So there's value in that show for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, you need to feel the feels that we all felt when we watched it and like, oh, this guy. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that one has nothing to do with time travel whatsoever. But you did mention Moon Knight and or Miss Marvel. So those are some other options in there, too, of the specific example I'm talking about. But they are definitely two shows that you should check out. With that said, She-Hulk comes out this week. And this is not a promo, but I've been hearing promos all day because that's what I do at work. So, yes.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's all good.
How do you feel about She-Hulk coming out?
I don't know yet. I haven't seen it. But I'm excited to see it because it looks fun. And I'm actually hearing some really good things about it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I want to take a page out of our mutual friend Lori's book and just wait for it all to come out and then binge it. But I know that's not going to happen.
Is she doing that?
That's what she does for most things that come out. She will wait for it to finish. I think she was tricked once because she didn't realize that all the episodes didn't come out at once. So she had to wait. Or not wait. She had to watch each episode when it came out and be mad.
Yeah. So, like the rest of us.
Right. So I just shrugged. I'm like, oh, well. But hey, what'd you think about that last episode? So, yeah. But yeah, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to go ahead and watch them as they come out like I've been for all the other ones. So I look forward to it. And all the cameos that are supposed to happen. And Wong probably being the MVP of the MCU, I'll just say. I was going to say a phase 4, but
so. I hope so. He deserves.
Right. The fact that just keeps showing up and just doing what he's got to do. Handling business. So, but as we talk about streaming things, I know that you are making your way. And I mean, I was going to segue talk about the dark energy and dark things and talk about Stranger Things since it's been decidedly dark. How has that journey been going for you? I know you didn't finish it.
I have not finished. I'm either 2 or 3 episodes away from the end. And I think it's done. Like all of season 4 is available, right? Like I know that there was like a pause. Okay, good.
Yeah, part 2 is almost like a movie. Like the last
it's
2
like
episodes.
2.5 hours long. Okay. So
but it's good though. It's
Well, and it's funny because even the regular episodes are like an hour, like over an hour long, which is part of the reason it's taken me a little while because they're just so long, you know. But we actually watched 2 episodes last night, which was a good, basically movie length, you know. But so yeah, I'm about 2 or 3 episodes away, and it's really good. I've learned to avert my eyes during the really scary parts, and that is working. I've learned, even if I happen to be watching during nightfall, turn on some lights. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, you just take a page from when we watched season 1 together. I think that's what we did. It's like, let's turn the lights on. Yeah, okay, that's better. All right. Yeah. I mean, you're still creeped out, but yeah. And
then, of course, you got to have your palate cleanser show, which for me has been Schitt's Creek. So,
okay.
So
I did start a rewatch, but not thoroughly because I think it's been one of those shows that I kind of put on like, okay, time for sleeping.
Just in the background. So,
right.
That's exactly what it's been for me. So I'm really enjoying the show though. It's still pretty dang dark and I hate it. And then we're getting, I don't want to talk about it just yet.
We'll wait until you finish it and then we can really dive into it. But I mean, you're right. It is. I mean, for me anyway, I felt it was really good. Like, okay, this is a good story. I like how everything is how everything will come together or already starting to, or just the stories that are happening. So it's
just a good story. And I was talking to a coworker today who they only watched season 1 and 2 and they weren't super thrilled with the end of season 2. And I was like, yeah, I remember that. I didn't love all of season 2 because season 1 was just so great.
Right.
And then season 3 happened and I was just like, okay, guys, we're getting towards the end of this, aren't we? And so, I just didn't love it that much, but I feel like this season they're kind of getting back to what Drew was saying. And I don't know, it's just just a great, I see what you mean. You were telling me earlier how it was just a great season and it's a great story, and to get past the creepy parts because it's worth it. And you were right. So I'm very much invested in how things are going to turn out, and because there's so much going on, and I have theories, and I'm just excited for it. So
right, same. Yay. But I mean, we'll do a deeper dive when you finish, and then we could just talk about the characters, the story, and where we think it's going from there. Because oh boy. So yes. But no, I think we will pivot from there and just I feel like right now, I guess the better transition would be recommendations, I suppose. What have you seen or read or I mean, even if you already discussed it, because I'm thinking of the Oculus, but if you, what would you recommend this episode?
Ooh. So I've been watching Stranger Things. Ooh, I have another something we haven't really talked about. I recommend the movie Prey.
Okay. Wow. You watched Prey.
I watched Prey.
Wow.
Listen, I almost didn't because I was like, listen, I don't do scary movies. I'm a weenie. I didn't told you, but Daniel's like, oh, come on, it's okay. And it was actually good. Like, it was really good. It wasn't like Stranger Things is gorier. So to me, I mean, like, I think it's technically, it's not horror. It's more of like a thriller action a bit, but if I can handle it, so can you, dear listener.
I thought you're talking to me. I'm like, I could, if it's like you saying that.
Handle it.
Okay.
You watch things like The Boys. I can't handle that show.
Well, that's not even close to horror, but that is gory. Yes.
It's very gory, and the tone of it is gym sock locker room. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And then anytime anyone gets like sliced up or something and Ashley happens to be there, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
No. Yeah. Anyway.
Because I mean, she doesn't like it, but she will watch it because she's with me, and she'll just, it's like, I'll watch anything with you. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, she's a real one.
She is, but I managed to watch the rest of the season without her being around, so she doesn't have to be disturbed by the disturbing images. So
it's disturbing.
I know this, but again, for me, it's the story, and man, I mean, someone like Homelander, that's definitely up there on that villain list that I keep trying to revisit every. Yeah, he's
such a jerk. I don't even watch the show, and I know he's garbage.
I mean, it's so bad that if I feel like he's another one of those actors, like you see them like in maybe something else, and you just hate them.
Get mad. It's like Joffrey.
Right. It's like, you know what? Wow, Joffrey and Homelander actually look very similar.
They do. Well, Homelander is older, and he's got like those crappy highlight blonde.
You're still describing Joffrey.
No, Joffrey was like bleached. He was like super platinum blonde when he didn't have like. True.
I see the blonde. I see the blue eyes and just the menacingness about them, and I hate you, and you're about to do something terrible, and you just did. So.
Well, he is. They're evil incarnate. I mean, they really are.
True. But your recommendation is Prey, is what you're telling me.
Yes, recommendation is Prey. I will say that I know, so it features the creature or the monster, if you will, Predator, who's an alien monster creature, whatever. So I only know like Predator from the previous series, from the movie Predator franchise. Yeah, from the movie Predator. But like, I never actually have seen any other Predator movies. I only know Predator's, features, I guess, because it's pop culture, and you just kind of know. You hear about it over the years. So
that's Predator from the movie Predator.
Well, yeah, but isn't there other? It's not just it's other Predator movies. I thought, right?
There are. There's like 7, 8, 9. I don't know. Lot. There's a lot. But and then of course Predator fights with Alien or the Xenomorph.
Yeah, Predator versus Alien. Or Predator versus something. Whatever. Point is, I've never seen any of the Predator movies. It's just not been my thing. And so I was like, why do I want to see this movie? I don't know nothing about this dude. But it was actually really good. It was a period piece, and it followed a young Native American girl and like her tribe, which apparently is like the badass tribe of like Indians, like the Spartans of Native Americans. Follows a Comanche tribe.
Like the warriors.
They're the warriors. They're amazing. So, but anyway, it was very good, and it had a lot of heart to it, a lot of good story. I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. So I recommend it. I think it's streaming on Hulu.
Yes, because it keeps recommending it to me.
Watch it.
I'm like, I think
on its offer.
Maybe I will. Maybe because you said so, and because you watched it. So I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And I will.
I know, right? I'm growing up.
I know. Look at you watching Stranger Things and making it through and
Prey.
Watching Prey.
Crazy.
And with the darkness outside.
That's like stupid.
And the grabby gotcha is just trying to, get you. So.
Right.
Well, I mean, since we're all in on the darkness, I'm going to go ahead and recommend The Sandman, which is on Netflix. And Ashley and I watched this and we just couldn't get enough of it. And it is dark, yes, but it's highly entertaining. And I feel like it's one of those things, Courtney, that if you're feeling brave, that you'll do it, you'll watch it probably during the daytime, but it's not scary. Yeah. I don't mean it like it's scary or anything, but because it seems like it's based, first of all, it's based on a graphic novel, which I just started reading. And I felt it was a little ironic because it's about the Sandman, who, you know, is the ruler and the god of dreams and sleeping and all that good stuff. And as I was reading it, I was feeling sleepy and kind of went to sleep a little bit. But that's partly because I had stayed up late watching the finale the night before, and I stayed up way too late than I should have. And it was making me fall asleep a little bit at work trying to read this graphic novel. But the show itself is great. It does have some weird, creepy moments in it, but it's just so like, ooh, like one of the main baddies, his name is the Corinthian. So his features are great, but he's just such like a delectable villain. Like we just talked about Homelander and like, you just I don't like him. Like, ooh, get off my screen. But this one, you're like, ooh, what are you going to do? Kind of thing. So he's like, you know, he's bad and evil is going to do something terrible. And like, ooh, he just stabbed that guy. Wow. So it's I'm going to say it's weird, but that's too light of a word, but very intriguing. I was really like drawn into the story and I hope they get renewed for a second season. Because, I mean, we're left hanging, but at least I have the graphic novel to fall back to and kind of continue the story. So I know kind of where it's going. And the great thing about it is Neil Gaiman, who has created the story, is heavily involved in this.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, it's not going to deviate too far unless he says so. So that's great. Awesome. So that would be my recommendation.
I keep seeing, well, not trailers for it, but I keep seeing like stills of it pop up here and there. And I'm like, oh, this may be my next show. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do more of this type of content. So we'll see.
I would say, yeah, it's more fantasy than it is, because I don't even want to call it horror at all. I think it's just, at times it just seems graphic, but I feel like you can get through it. And then as long as, again, you have your palate cleansers afterwards, just in case you feel a little like, whew, that was intense. Because a lot of the episodes, while it does tell continuous stories, like there's one episode in particular where it's like a bottle episode where it's just taking place in just one room, or one diner rather. And the stories that unfold and what's happening is just so crazy. Like, where's this going? Is this just happening just to them? What's happening? And oh no, did you just do that? Oh wow. It's crazy. It's for adults. I'll definitely say that. And just putting it out there. So don't watch it with your children. And, but yeah, it's really good. I enjoyed it. I mean, we both really liked it. Like I said, I'm trying to read the graphic novel now. So that is my recommendation. I switched the recommendations in the moment of gratitude or gratefulness. So now we're going to do that. Did you want to go first, or do you want me? What?
You go first.
Okay. I am grateful for, I'm going to throw two things in there, but they fall under the category of app, as an application for your mobile device. And I'm going to say the Self and Digit apps. Now, it does sound like that these are going to be more promos, and I actually could give you promo codes. I just need to, I'll put them in the show notes eventually. But and it's actually kind of interesting. I didn't talk about this. Like, I probably did talk about it on the podcast before. I know I've made ads for it before. Now I think about it, because I had this whole ad where he's like, hey, you want to save money? Do this. So the Digit app, and this is something Courtney and I have discussed off air a few times before, but it has helped me tremendously saving money for, I was going to say for your car insurance, but no, saving money just in general. If you need to just save money for a goal, or trying to just help with emergency funds, whatever, or travel or getaway. You can set up a whole bunch of goals. And what it does was it'll take money from your bank account and it'll let you know every day how much it's taking and let you know how much you've saved so far. And you can access it at any time. Of course, it's almost as if it's a separate bank account. So it may take a couple of days to transfer back to your bank, but it's all there. It helps you do what you got to do. It's a great app. It's called Digit. I will include a link in the show notes at some point. And the other app is the Self app. It's something to help you build your credit or build it stronger. It is basically a credit card, and you will pay on it to, like a credit card you would, but also it also takes a loan out for you and you pay that back too. So it's almost like you're making two payments, but it does help your credit. And first thing you do when you open the app, it shows you your credit score right there, whether it went down, went up, whatever. But it's been very beneficial to me, and I'm building back my credit even as we speak. I am happy to say that it jumped up like another 20 points since I last looked at it like 2 days ago. So yes, it does help. It's great. And I'm using that also just to like pay bills and things. And as I pay bills, I pay off the credit that I used to pay the bills. So everything is helping each other. So getting my financial life on track, or financial health in order. So those two apps definitely help a great deal. And I'm grateful that they exist and they are there for that purpose, to help you get your financial life in order. So grateful for that. What are you grateful for?
Nice. I am grateful for my new toys. I'm grateful for.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm just clearing my throat. I'm sorry.
So rude. Anyways, no, I'm grateful for my new toys, which seems a little, I don't know, little shallow maybe, but I really
you're treating yourself.
Well, and that's the thing. I do believe that life is short, and if we have the means to treat ourselves and to have fun and to, make investments into things that bring us joy, and like with my e-writer, it will help me. It's just another writing tool for me. One that I'm just really excited about. But I'm happy to be able to make those investments in self-care stuff, and just stuff that makes us happy and brings us closer together, and, helps make our days here on earth just that much better and that much more valuable. So I'm just grateful to be able to do that, and to provide that, and to, do that for myself and for my loved ones and things. And just happy to be able to splurge a little bit and to find joy,
or enjoy life
in those things, and enjoy life. So I'm grateful to be able to do that, and for the stuff that we got now.
Well, that's great. I am happy for you. I was excited when you told me you got these things. Oculus was a bit more of a surprise, because I had no idea that was even on a wish list. And I forget that it's there. Like, I forget that it's a thing until I see someone like on maybe TikTok or something, and they're doing something, and all of a sudden they fall over because they forget, because they're too entranced in the virtual world. So
yeah, I've been hearing my walls get knocked about. So this is just with Daniel. So I'm a little nervous for when the kids get to play with it, but yeah, we'll see. Oh
my goodness, I forgot my Black History fact, and I have to do this one. Please hold.
To do it.
I do. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry about that. I just happened to notice it.
No, please.
Black History. Black History. Black History. Black History. Facts. All right. Now, we mentioned on the last episode, or where we did the Nope review, that we lost the talented, the so influential Nichelle Nichols. She had passed away, and I'm not sure if it was the same day, or I think it was definitely around the same period. But we also lost Bill Russell, who, I want to say, partially because of my role at ESPN, because they spent pretty much a good chunk of the day just kind of remembering him and his impact, not just on sports, which I kind of only knew him as, but also as a civil rights leader or activist. So I found this piece from either MSN or Orlando Sentinel, but I'm just going to read some of it. So So I was just kind of scrolling down to where it is. I don't want to read the whole thing because it's more of an essay than it is like kind of a remembrance of his life. A little bit of both. I don't know. So I'll just kind of start it and I'm going to skip around. But shame on us, all of us, or at least most of us. Shame on us for always declaring Michael Jordan to be NBA's GOAT or GOAT, which is the greatest of all time. Shame on us for also including LeBron James in the GOAT conversation, or Magic Johnson, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or Kobe Bryant, but never Bill Russell. The only time it seems Bill Russell has been not mentioned as the GOAT is when our fathers or grandfathers joined the conversation and we just rolled our eyes and thought to ourselves, shut up, old man. So trying to see where I actually wanted to go off to. So immense that after Russell's death on July 31st, at the age of 88, the NBA made the unprecedented move on Thursday of retiring his number 6 jersey league-wide. The first time in history that has ever happened.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was actually my mother who told me before I was made aware of that happened. Bill Russell's unparalleled success on the court and pioneering civil rights activism deserve to be honored in a unique and historic way. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said in a statement, permanently retiring his number 6 jersey across every NBA team ensures that Bill's transcendent career will always be recognized. Let me skip over. On the court, Russell won 11 of a possible 13 championships with the Boston Celtics, including 8 in a row. He appeared in 10 Game 7s during his career, and his Celtics won all 10 of them. He also won back-to-back NCAA titles at the University of San Francisco and an Olympic gold medal. He is the greatest defensive player in the history of the NBA and showed that a player could dominate the game by rebounding and playing defense. And there's some more stats here. And I'm scrolling some more. And while he wasn't the first Black player in the NBA, he is the player most responsible for league's massive integration during the 1960s. He was the league's first Black superstar and spoke out against racial quotas on NBA rosters. During his rookie season, Russell was the only Black player on the Celtics roster, but by 1964, the Celtics had the first all-Black starting lineup in NBA history. When a hotel in Lexington, Kentucky refused to serve food to 2 of his Black teammates, Sam Jones and Satch Sanders, in 1961, Russell organized a boycott and forced the cancellation of the NBA exhibition game the world champion Celtics were in town to play. And okay, I'll read that one too. At a volatile time when most Black athletes didn't want to make waves, Russell created tsunamis. He was a staunch civil rights leader who marched on the nation's capital with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and was front and center for King's I Have a Dream speech. He put his life in jeopardy and incurred the wrath of the Ku Klux Klan by visiting the state of Mississippi just days after civil rights activist Medgar Evers was assassinated there in 1963. He was there with Abdul-Jabbar and Jim Brown supporting Ali, not going to Vietnam. I'm trying to paraphrase now as I go through. Russell refused to sugarcoat any of the racism he experienced when his searing, groundbreaking autobiography, Go Up for Glory, was first published in 1966. Unlike the feel-good sports books of the day, Russell's story was an unfiltered look at the racist incidents he endured throughout his life and playing career in Boston, which also talks about how he had a rough time in Boston because people would vandalize his home while he was away. So just, not great at all.
Yeah.
Is it this one? This is why Bill Russell isn't just NBA's GOAT. He is also NBA's Lion. While there are certainly other great players such as Michael Jordan who belong in the league's Mount Rushmore, there's only one player, William Felton Russell, who stands alone on the league's Mount Everest. So yes, wow. I will post the rest of this I read more than I wanted to, but it was just great. The more that I learned about him, like, okay, yeah, well, I'll definitely talk about him because he's great.
He sounds awesome.
Yes, yes, indeed. So yes, so glad I did not forget to share that. I'm glad that I remembered. Glad I made notes. But
yes.
Yeah. So that actually wraps it up for this episode. Now, is there anywhere that you want to be found?
Yeah, you can find me on the Twitters at IMKHinton.
Great. And you can find me at all things at indoob. And I've also done the work to actually to make sure that the show notes are a little bit more, what's the word? Not cohesive. But all the information that we sometimes forget to say or where to find us is to be in the show notes. So I'm like, why don't I just make a template and just fill it in, make my life a little bit easier until one day I'll. So all the stuff is in there, all at indoob. And then you can find, the store link there. You can find the Twitter and on all the Patreon. Yeah, all that stuff will be there. That'd be great. So go do that. And we definitely appreciate it. But thank you so much for listening. And I think I'm vamping because I'm looking for my clothes because I keep forgetting what it is. Yes. Tell someone you value them, live without regrets, and live for the folks you love, but also enjoy the things that you have, like Courtney does with her Oculus and e-writer. Just enjoy life.
Woo-hoo. Yep. And I have Chick-fil-A waiting for me now.
Oh, snap. Wow. Yep. Full circle.
Yep.
Well, I'll also confess that I've had a steak roasting in the oven. So, I was already
not fair.
What? Oh, it's going to get better because it's been slow roasting, like at a slow, 300 degrees. And then I'm going to take it out and then I'm going to put it in the air fryer for 10 minutes to get a nice little crisp on the edges.
Yes. Oh my God.
And it's going to be so tender, but also juicy. Oh, by the way, it's been marinating since yesterday. So
shut up.
And it's been marinating in, let's see, it's a sweet bourbon sauce mixed with Japanese barbecue sauce.
Oh my gosh.
Little Worcestershire.
I'm going to need a full report on how this turns out ASAP,
Gotcha. See, I sit there and painted a whole picture, got you all interested in Chick-fil-A and Chick-fil-A sauce and chicken sandwiches. Little did you know what was happening here. So yes.
Thanks for nothing.
No problem. I'll send you pictures.
Yes, please. Thank you.
No problem. I've been your benevolent host, E. Sterling Watson. Oh, don't forget, please wash your legs, your face, the bottoms of your feet, and the undersides of your dishes. I saw under your plate, not you, Courtney. I'm just saying, just the people out there not washing the undersides of things because, come on. Anyway, I've been your benevolent host, E. Sterling Watson. And remember, if the world didn't suck, we'd all fall off henceforth and forevermore. And the church said,
Amen.
Amen indeed.
Thanks for listening to the Indoob podcast, which was recorded from the south side of Wakanda in Little New Indubia on the corner of T'Chaka and MLK Drive, and is part of the Indoob network. Want more Indoob? Follow on Instagram and Twitter at Indoob and on Facebook at IndoobPod. You can contact us and send Ask Indoob questions by emailing indoobpod@gmail.com. Want to support or donate? Find the TeePublic store or become a patron on Patreon, where subscribing gives you perks and extra things from the Indoob network. Please subscribe, rate, comment, and share the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, Podbean, and wherever else podcasts are found. And of course, visit indoob.com for all of this and much more. Thank you so much for letting us entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Until next time.
Use your words, Chief. Good boy.
This has been another 3SFX production.